All right, everybody. This is swale number 1. With the southeastern part of the property. I'm just going to point that out, then I'm going to go about. Oh, look at that lightning helping me out. Thank you, lightning. Thank you. Yeah, look at that water.
Welcome to Permaculture Pathways.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back to our slice of heaven. I'm out here having a cup of joe, enjoying the morning. In this video, we are going to talk about the berms and swales that were built on our project for capturing water. I'd like to give a shout out to Symbiosis Texas, who helped us with this project. Great group of folks, really fun to work with. I learned so much along the way. You're going to get to see the designs, the before and after shots of the property, and get to hear a little bit about swales and berms along the way. So sit back. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to get alerted about what's going on in this channel. And feel free to make comments. I'll answer them as best as I can. So thanks again, and enjoy the video. You know, before we ever planted one tree, before we ever made any adjustments to our soil or built a garden bed, we wanted to make sure we did the one thing that is most important, in my opinion, when you're putting a project like this together. And that's capturing water.
Here, where I'm located in the hill country of Texas, we get between 22 and 44 inches of rain per year on average. But what I have observed is about 28 to 34 inches of rain over the last 8 years, peaking generally April and May, and in the fall in September or October. Looking at the contours of our land, Symbiosis chose the highlands, then the midlands, and then the lowlands of our property to determine where our berms and swales would need to be located. With these things in mind, they determined where the swales and berms should be located in both the front and the back of our property. Little did they know that fate would drop in and produce a tremendous rainstorm in the middle of construction that would change their plans entirely for the rear of the property. Let's talk about swales and berms. Imagine rainwater hitting a hillside. Normally, it just rushes downhill, eroding soil and disappearing. A swale is a shallow trench dug on contour. It slows the water down. And right below it, a berm is a raised mound that catches that overflow and also traps it, allowing the water to insoak into the ground in what's called a plume below the contour line. So let's rewind back to the rainstorm. It is pouring, and I take a look out the back window thinking to myself, Chris is out there on a skid steer and he's going to get stuck. What do I see? He is driving around like a madman across one side of the property to the other. And I'm like, what is he doing? What in the world is this man doing? Well, what he had been doing was watching the water, observing where it flowed, and in doing so, discovered a change that needed to be made in the berm and swale placement. That change was to move a berm-swale combination to the northeast corner where he found the water was flowing. So when you know where the berms and swales need to be located, what do you do next? This is where contour lines come into play. Chris took a laser level and along the contour line flagged where the inflection point needed to be for each berm and swale. Starting on the high grounds of our property, Chris marked the southeastern berm and then the one just to the north. Then moving west, he marked the southwestern berm and then the one just north of that. Now in the middle of our property is probably the longest berm we have, which is broken up by 2 roads and then a waterline easement on the north part of the property. And saving the best for last, Chris moved to the northeastern part of the property where he marked the berm change that he saw during that deluge of a rainstorm that surrounds the basin and is just below my B plateau. And next we start applying the first amendment to the soil, which is basalt dust. It's chosen for its paramagnetic properties, but we will go over that in a future video. The basalt dust is then lifted and spread onto the swale side of the swale berm combination. so that as the berm is constructed, the basalt dust becomes part of the structure that eventually becomes the berm. You could get an idea on how the berms and swales are going to be laid out by looking at the basalt dust lines here for berms 1 through 4. In addition, you can see the privacy screen up here to the left of the house. This is the part where Chris gets to have lots of fun building a berm and a swale. I will tell you, after watching Chris build swales and berms during this project, he is incredibly meticulous and his results are immaculate. And now that you've seen the design and the approach to the project that Symbiosis took, you might expect me to show you a collection of videos of Chris and a mini excavator digging swales. Nope. I'm going to show you a montage of before and after shots of some of the swales and then end it with a little special tribute to Chris. And this right here is what I'm just going to name Chris's pride and joy. This is a phenomenal swale that he put together, and it is full. I mean, this is really great. And now's the time when I put a picture of my beautiful dog Maya on the screen and shamelessly ask you to subscribe if you like this video. Don't forget to click that bell if you want to be alerted when I upload new videos.